Good morning. It's cold. It's actually not cold, but I feel cold. Just woke up. I can see the cats out on the wall, walking along. Very nice. Walking along the top of the wall. They've been probably out hunting. Okay. Good morning. Saturday, December 12th, 2020. Oh. Whew. So, I think we might be getting our winter. Need to relax. Where are we? It's quiet. It's very still outside. No movement in the trees. Clouds look like they're painted on the sky. Can't see any birds. Womb. Okay. Where are we? Anybody who thought that we were in some waiting pattern. I'm half awake. My head's not even catching up with my mouth, so have to be careful what I say. But if you live near an airport, an air traffic control sat in the tower, and they can see all the planes coming in, and they have to organize it so as they don't land at the same time and cause problems. So they put you in what's commonly known as a waiting pattern, and they stack you up. One of my friends lives in an area outside of, well, not outside, but east side of Los Angeles called Whittier. And very often when I'm at his house and in that area working, because I do occasionally still work. I'm working right now. Not right now, but I've got a little job going and going to make enough money to buy Christmas presents for my kids, so I'm very happy. But often over his area of Whittier, you see the planes in lines, in waiting patterns, waiting to land at LAX, Los Angeles Airport. Sometimes at night you see the lights in the sky and you're like, oh, what's that? It's like a long line of lights, and it's like, no, it's just the waiting pattern. Less so now, obviously, with less travel going on, but I'm sure it's still the same. But if you feel one feels like one is in a waiting pattern, you can do something about that. And you should. Because what are you waiting for? Waiting for the government to decide how you live your life? Waiting for Project Restart? Another government phrase or the Great Reset, which is being run by somebody who wants to rule the world, or a group of people who want to rule the world. I mean, nearly every morning I wake up and restart my life. But I do that myself. I don't need permission from anybody in charge. There is one divine authority that I don't understand and don't want to understand. I'm happy with the mystery. But whatever that is, it gave me the free will to choose, and the free will to choose to restart my life most days, or every day if I can, with a fresh view, a new view on the world, about my position and what I do within that world. Oh, the wind must have got up a little bit because the clouds are moving in the sky, just drifting slightly to the left. Oh, maybe that's symbolic. Drifting slightly to the left. Anyway, but the point being is if you take control of your life, if one takes control of one's life and decides that this abundant earth can supply to one the great beauty, then you're on the adventure. Or you can stay stuck and wait. And that's the problem, is this waiting, this holding pattern quickly turns into limbo land. I don't mean, going underneath a lowering bar, in a backwards position like the Calypso limbo. I mean limbo land, where it's almost suspended animation. A permission-based life, you're asking permission for almost everything in your life. I give great gratitude. I give thanks for everything in my life. But I don't ask permission for it to come into my life. I don't ask permission for what I do with it. I just live my life. I've been signing off a little bit in my mail and emails, live, love, life. And it seems a bit trite, live, love, life. But in order to live, you have to love. And then that becomes life. I viewed 2020, it's 12/12/2020 today. As I've been going through 2020 and watching external things speed up, slow down, speed up, slow down, it's like disturbing in a way to watch the amount of people who are just following orders that are given out by authoritarians, who have very little insight into what's actually happening in the world, and believe that they want to control us. Well, it's because they lack the self-control, to take charge of their own lives. In a lot of cases, I'm not saying every case, but unless you have somebody who's very close to you, who loves you, and is advising you in that way, and will help you and protect you, you sort of have to make your own mind up where you are in this point in history. And this point in history is very different to anything I've experienced in the past. I've experienced a lot in my 64 years. Lived all over the world. There's the womb. But it's the womb. That's where I really am living. The word womb actually means matrix. And so, or matrix means womb, so knowing where you are in this matrix is very important right now, because 2020 for most of the year, definitely since March, February, March, definitely since March, it's been transitioning. The matrix that I live within has been transitioning, and how it transitions is entirely up to the people within it, because everything's projected from us. So, and there are some great people in this world, some amazing people, and they're really just on the hero's journey. They're moving forward, and recognizing and realizing we're going to go through some dark spots and then come up the other side. These things are always cyclical. There's a cycle, and so it's interesting to watch other people on the journey and talk to them and connect with them. It's our responsibility where we are within that. I mean, we can sit back and be observers for sure, but you still got to live, love life. You can't freeze and wait for permission. There's no one's going to give you permission to live your life. No one. Not even your loved one. Not even the people who are supremely close to you. They're not going to give you permission to go live your life. That's you've already been granted that. You've been granted life. How you choose to live it is free will, and if you don't protect your free will, then all your life is going to be permission based, and then you have to recognize and realize that you're trusting another human being to use their senses to put you straight, and they may or may not. In fact, I know they know not. If they are taking charge of you, I know they know not how to live your life. I know that because they're separate, but they're separate and we're all one. These are the concepts. Separately together, we will progress and we will have access to the greater good. Access to the greater good is very important. Pray, meditate, believe that this is all transitioning towards a better world, and then promote it from within so it becomes your projection on the world. It's really tough sometimes. I'm not saying it's easy, and a lot of people fall by the wayside accidentally and get tangled up with this web of the matrix and the many pitfalls of being human. And I'm not saying it's easy. I mean, it really isn't for some. It's not easy for me every day, or every minute of every day. That would be insane. That's like viewing it from a prison cell, and I'm not in a prison cell, so that would be crazy for me to even be talking this way if I didn't think that I was free to make my own decisions. And I want to. I mean, I'm not saying there aren't times when I wouldn't love to feel like I'm within a group of people that are at least doing it, and that's how I end up connecting with other humans, because the other humans that are on a journey, that know they're on a journey, are attracted to those that know the other people are on a journey. So it becomes evident that the people that are on the journey that I'm on are gonna, and have been, especially recently, connecting up to me. There's so many people this year that have come into my life that I had 63 years without you, and yet you're in my life as a very important person. Why are you a very important person? Because we share ideas that will help create a better world. And that's the journey for me, is to try and help create a better world for my children and my children's children, for myself too, if it can happen. But I didn't really expect the pace of change to be this rapid this year, and things come into fruition so quickly. In the past, it's always been, a progression, but a slow progression, and I'm okay with that. People have started to connect up with each other and connect the dots about the control system and the world we're living in. And they're starting to connect the dots, and that's a good thing. And connect up with each other. But in real terms, I mean, not just like what can they do for me and what can I do for them, but in real terms, real human beings with all the dirty human complications. I mean, all of those are part and parcel of being human, I mean, and I say dirty, I mean, it's like the sum of our mistakes. So we make all these mistakes and we have accidents, but specifically, we're still the same human being and venturing forward. I'm not saying it doesn't go without injury or insult, or, I mean, I've had several attacks this week, several attacks. A lot of them, I mean, none of them physical per se, but lots of attacks from people. And coming out of left field too. I mean, just for no particular reason. I think if I really sit in judgment of I think it was Jung that said, thinking is difficult, most people judge. But if I sit in judgment of the situations that arose to get me verbal attacks and one particular horrendous psychic attack, which I'll explain in a bit, but the verbal attacks, I think it might be because I'm too cheerful. Most people, a lot of people, and the ones that have verbally attacked me, are particularly unhappy in their life, and particularly ungrateful for what they see in this world and what they feel is theirs to enjoy. They don't even see it as theirs to enjoy. In fact, they've gone so far down a blind alley that if you offer a solution, that makes them angry, and they attack you. I mean, I got a verbal attack last night, but luckily, I mean, I'm pretty shielded. Not impervious, but I'm pretty shielded. But I'm not bulletproof. So when somebody close to me says hurtful things or acts in a hurtful way, I really try not to join in the gainsaying, you know, the sense of humor, that, you know, is this the 5-minute argument or the full half hour? You know, it's like, I don't want to partake in somebody else's misery. I will help them see the way out if I can, and but I don't think arguing about it is, in some cases, specifically in this case that I had last night, it's not going to work. I mean, it's not going to work because their mind is set, and you have to, if you're going to help people like that, then you have to wait for the gap, you know, but like, you have to wait for the doors to open, and the doors do open, but, you know, and they may not open when you want them to, but there's a time when you can help others, and it's when they're open to receive. But that doesn't mean they take your advice, but you can at least give them advice. It doesn't have to be sage advice. It just needs to be like, you know, something that's going to keep them out of danger. And danger is real, and fear is manufactured for the most part. So if you see a friend in danger and you're loath to help them because they're contentious in your life, try and find an opening that's a peaceful place where you can sow a seed. It's very important to sow seeds. Anyway, okay, that was enough of a look into my life, but at the same time looking at life in general. A lot of talking, wasn't it? I'm going to eat breakfast soon, and I may watch some soccer on TV for a little while, just to extract myself from this purview and enter another. So it's fun, but I might watch some live sports. Live sports is entertaining for me because I can be within the moment. So it's good. Once in a while, it's like sleep. Sorry, holding my cup in front of my face, but not even taking a sip. Cup of coffee. Sense of humor. Must keep your sense of humor. Oh, by the way, sense of humor. Okay. It's a sense of humor. This is me. No beard. That's why I got that on, because it's a little cold this morning because I've been shorn. Sean Connery. My name is Sean Connery. Yeah. Events that are going to transpire. That means I'm going to predict some things. Prediction's not easy. But the thing is, it's a fun game, isn't it? putting out a projected thing, and as long as you don't hang too much information on it, that projected thing, which is, from here, rises up and it's out, that projected thing that you're putting out to the world, you have to take responsibility for. So I'm going to project something for those of us that feel like we're stood in line or in a queue waiting for things to change. Okay. I'm going to project something, and I'm going to predict something. Okay. It's going to be okay. Really, it's going to be okay. Okay. Love and peace projected. Okay. End this now. Eat some breakfast. Have a good day. Love you.